Hello, my name is Anissa and welcome back for another episode of the Art of Screenwriting. Today we're going to tackle something everyone could use a refresher course on: pitching. Yes, the woes of pitching is extremely scary, especially if you've never done it before. But don't worry, after watching this video, pitching your amazing screenplay or pilot will be as easy as writing it. Actually, probably easier. A pitch is basically verbally selling your script to someone in the industry who may be interested in it. This could be a director, a producer, production executive, an agent, or your best friend's father. Alright, so when you pitch, you are presenting someone with your story idea. Maybe it's a concept you came up with while singing in the shower, or a situation that happened at your child's school. When you pitch, you present this person with everything you need, such as a book or newspaper article, necessary photographs, or a list of casting suggestions. The more you have, the more successful your pitch will be. Now, there are different types of pitches. There's the classic elevator pitch, where you have roughly 60 seconds to deliver your idea in hopes of getting a meeting to further discuss your project. However, in terms of this video, we will be discussing the pitch you present when you already have the meeting. Because let's face it, you're so bomb, you'll get the meeting. Positive thoughts, people. Here are some elements you must have in your verbal or written pitch. Number 1, establish who you are. Present them with a logline and explain your project. If you need extra help in creating the perfect logline, tap the link below. So, what do I mean by explaining your project? Well, before you pitch, ask yourself why you came up with this idea. Were you inspired by your parents' long-lasting marriage and wanted to write their love story? Did you witness someone save your animal's life and were inspired? When you explain to an exec the personal ties you have with your story, it gives them context on why this is important to you. The more passionate you are, the more they want to help. Make sure you explain from your opening what genre your movie is. If you want to make it easier for an executive to see your vision, feel free to compare your movie with other successful movies that complement it. Obviously, your romance movie won't be The Notebook, but if it's The Notebook meets Bridesmaids, then your audience can fully appreciate what they're about to get into from the very beginning. Number 2, go through the most important beats of the story. Whoever you're pitching to needs to understand how the story starts and ends in a short and concise way. Make sure to reveal the inciting incident, the call to action, and the 3 acts. Now, if you want to discuss your ending, then go on ahead. There's no rule saying that you have to keep them guessing. My rule is, whatever best suits your pitch is what you should go for. Having a studio exec on the edge of their seat wanting more is always a good sign you're on the right track. Next, you want to keep it simple. Don't labor on about the backstory or the neighbor's niece that has one line in your script. Talk about the struggle between the protagonist and antagonist. Talk about your plot. Talk about the hero or heroine's journey. Talk about the meat of your script and why this story should be told. As a general rule, too much detail will lose your audience. If you only had 10 to 20 minutes, would you focus on Princess Ariel and her true love for Prince Eric? Or would you focus on the fork she found in the ocean? Now, when you are pitching, you want to close in a way that gives your audience hope that the show or film can be great. If it's a pilot, then execs want to see if there's longevity. Without saying too much, you can give them a summary of season 1 or at least the first 3 episodes. Make sure they know your show has longevity and can last as long as Grey's Anatomy, or at least pretty close to it. If you are closing with a feature, you want to make sure you present the stakes of your story and give them something that leaves them wanting to read your script immediately. A cliffhanger, perhaps? Whatever it is, don't hold back. Once you're completely done with your pitch, you can leave behind a 1 to 2 page summary of what you just talked about, as well as setting up a follow-up time to call. Don't worry, they will. Now that you know how to pitch, let's go over what not to do during or before your pitch. Point 1, you don't want to go over your allotted time. If you find yourself going over 10 to 15 minutes, you run the risk of a studio exec cutting you off or completely boring your audience. Point 2, don't try to pitch without practicing. I know you're amazing, but chances are you'll stumble through your story without first doing the necessary prep work. Practice in front of a trusted friend, maybe yourself in the mirror, or a stranger. When you practice on someone you hardly know, it forces you to prepare better. Point 3, don't take rejection personally. People say no, and that's okay. In instances like this, the fact that you were brave enough to try and face someone is what counts. There may be a million reasons why someone doesn't want to move forward with your project, But if you blow up when someone says no, you risk ruining a potential opportunity in the future. Remember, Hollywood is small. Be kind and take it with grace. You'll always have another chance with a good attitude. Today we learned about the art of pitching. I hope you learned something today. If you want to help us, please leave a comment on what videos you'd like to see next. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like these. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you'll be. Peace.